Hey guys, welcome to my book review. My name is Lebohang Sejam and I'll be doing a book review on Boesman and Lena. So, in the book, we are introduced to Boesman and Lena after their arrival at Swartkops, which is a place they found after being forcefully removed from Kostin. So, in the book, Boesman is portrayed as an abusive man with an intimidative nature. We can tell this by the way that he treats Lena and by the way he reacts to each and every situation after interacting with Lena, because Lena in most cases reacts as a victim of Boesman, because whenever they talk and Boesman has to say something, Lena would react as a victim, which that creates a sense of an abusive relationship. It creates a sense of abuse, that Lena has been abused for so long that she's even afraid of Boesman's reaction, because she'd probably think that she'll get a slap or something. And when you read along the book, you're also told about the bruises that Lena has sustained along the way, or rather in their previous life or before they arrived at Swartkops. So even from the bruises that I mentioned in the book, we can definitely say that Boesman was abusive indeed. So after they've arrived at Swartkops, we are introduced to a black old Xhosa man who comes over to where they settled in, and he could barely or couldn't at all speak English, Afrikaans, nor even understand each of the languages. And this frustrates Lena, because she had hoped that at least she had found someone who was going to listen to her, someone was not going to be abusive towards her, or someone who was just going to be there for her when she needed to talk. Because Boesman was acting up. Boesman didn't really like, or rather enjoy, listening to Lena rambling about anything and everything. So it frustrated Lena a lot, and she kind of lost all the energy she had for this old man. So what I like about the book specifically is that it enables me as a reader to form an imagination of how life was during those times, how life was when people were moved from one place to the other. It allows you to be in the place. It allows you to feel the mood of how people felt, of how people were treated during those forced removals back then. After reading the whole play, I I won't say there's anything that I didn't like, but rather probably recommendation or something I would have loved to see was for the playwright to include the broader black people, or rather the broader minority of South Africa at the time. I would have loved to see how people lived. I would have loved to see how Boesman and Lena specifically lived when they were still in Kostin. I would have loved to see that, because it would also have allowed me to form some imagination of how they felt deeply about the transition from Kostin to Swartkops. So the themes that I picked up on while reading this book were poverty and oppression. Poverty in a sense that the places these people called homes were not conducive for humans, were not suitable for people to live in, because you can tell that it was just a house made out of each and everything they come across, each and every piece of material they can just pick up from anywhere, just putting it together, forming a shelter and lived in it. So that in a way is a sign of poverty. And going back to the clothes that they wore, they also show us, or they also portray poverty in a sense. Then oppression. Forceful removals definitely are definitely a sign of oppression, because people were forcefully removed from a place they called home in order to make way for the development of another area for white people. So them being removed from where they lived is definitely a sign of oppression, because they were forcefully removed. So that is definitely a sign of oppression in my thinking. Or yeah. Lena in the play is portrayed as someone who has everything to say about anything. Like, wow, the lady speaks a lot. She has a lot to say about anything. And this also reiterates the abusive nature that I spoke about of Boesman, because in each and every scene, or in each and every moment where Lena speaks, you get to listen to Boesman's response, and from there you can tell that definitely Boesman is abusive, because there's never been a moment where he gives a response that is okay, or that is suitable. He's always fighting. He's always in a mood for fighting. Like, he chooses violence all the time. So yeah, that also shows us that indeed Boesman was abusive, and he was intimidative, and he knew that he knew that Lena was afraid of him. So he probably used that to his advantage. The play is centered around the Land Act of 1913, which we saw people being forcefully removed from their places they called home, rather. So, looking at the historical context of the book, we can definitely link whatever is happening in the book to the Land Act of 1913, where people were forcefully removed during the apartheid era. So yeah, even looking at the wardrobe, or yeah, looking at what they wore, we can also say that whatever they wore are clothes they probably picked up, which were thrown out by the white people. Judging from the torn sport club blazer that Boesman wore, I doubt that Boesman participated in any sports for him to actually have a blazer. I am a person who likes visual things. So reading a book is not as nice as watching the play to me, because I believe that watching is better than reading and having to create your own mental pictures. But it's also nice to watch the play and to read the book, and be able to link the book and the play, so that it can definitely make sense to you, because reading and watching go hand in hand. Thank you very much for watching my book review. I hope you do enjoy, and